So is this the best top five players in the league ever? Well, the panel had something to say about it. Let's get into it. So, my good brethren over there on the panel, shout out the bros, and they had a very interesting conversation. This question has been popping up a lot, and the question is this the best top five in the sports history? And I think they're going to go through some All NBA teams. I really wanted to talk about this, and I'm glad that they brought it up. So that, man, let's see what they had to say.
Okay. Well, where you at with it, Mars?
3 is first. I'm not hesitant with that. 3 is the best.
So they're ranking the teams. Let me go back so we get the origin of the question.
Talent that the NBA has seen since the early 2000s. Some people agree with me. NBA weeks back, I said that this is probably the best collection of top five talent that the NBA has seen since the early 2000s. Some people agree with me. I also got some pushback, which I'm not mad at it. I can understand why you might believe there are some years in between there where the top five talent in the NBA was better than right now. But I do think it's a good conversation. I do think it's a debate. And I do think that we need to talk about this. So I dug up some years that I believe we had the best collections of top five talents. And these are going to be the 4 years that we're going to rank as a panel. And I want to hear how you guys would rank these 4 years. So we obviously have 2026, SGA, Jokic, Giannis, Luka, Wemby. We got 2017, LeBron, Steph, KD, James Harden, and Kawhi Leonard. We got 2009, Kobe, Dwayne Wade, LeBron James, Chris Paul, and Dwight Howard. And then we have 2003, Shaq, Kobe, Tim Duncan, Kevin Garnett, and Tracy McGrady.
Me personally, out of the All NBAs or top fives listed, I got 03 as the best. It's not All NBA, just top five. Okay, bet. Steph, Bron, Kawhi, Harden, KD. That's a tough five. Yeah, that's probably second. Third, I would have this year, and then 09 would be my last because of Dwight. Yeah, Dwight low-key is the worst player, I believe, mentioned. 17 might be one. 17 could very well be one. I'm not mad if you think 17 is one. Let me know what y'all think down there below in the comments. You know what I'm saying? Let me know your order. How would you rank them? I got 03, 17, 26, 09. Let me know y'all order down there below in the comments. Let's get to it.
I think you have made a mistake. Oh, wait, you did include Tracy McGrady. My bad.
Because last time you had J Kidd, right?
Yeah, on the poll I had Jason
told him to
Kidd.
change
But
it.
even though I think it's valid for J Kidd to be there, Tracy
not.
McGrady is there.
In place of in place
If
of Jason
J
Kidd, no,
Kidd's there,
it's
that
not.
means that the league that had Draymond Green in it would have a better player because Draymond's better than Jason Kidd.
But that's just
That's a
false.
fact.
But
That's just a fact.
Shout out to Bald Online. Make sure y'all tap into that, right? If you're wondering why would Mars say some ridiculous foolishness like that, it's because somebody got that takeoff on no other platform better than Bald Online, a new show with me and Mars where we talk hoops and we allow y'all, any and everybody, to come up. If you got a beef, if you got some smoke, we ain't ducking. Every Saturday at 12 p.m. Central on this channel and my playback. Make sure you check that description. Click the link to that playback, and you can come up in the room and debate. And we will also be casting it via YouTube. That will be at 12 p.m. Central, 1 p.m. Eastern on Saturdays. Pull up so you can say some stupid shit like Draymond's better than Pete Jason Kidd. Let's continue.
Answer that, sir.
yeah, I was wondering about that too myself, but I got so much love for J Kidd that I'm fine with it. But I do think T-Mac is the rightful one. And yeah, okay, let's get to it.
Yeah, so we got Tracy McGrady there. I'm going to just go around the room, and I want you guys to give me your explanation as to how you will rank these teams. Damian, I'm going to start with you. Keep in mind, it is Tracy McGrady in place of Jason Kidd. How are you ranking these four in terms of top five talent in the NBA?
5.
That Kidd McGrady swap changed a little bit for me, I think, because I had 2003 maybe second or third, but it's probably number 1 now, I'd say. And then I toss up between 2009, 2017. I'll probably go 2003, 2009, 2017, and then 2026.
You know they're gonna say you're being an old head, Damian. They're literally
I'm
gonna
only
say that
I'm
you.
only 31.
I mean, you could be a young old head. They're literally gonna say you started with the oldest team and ended with the youngest team or the most recent team.
I
Wait,
mean,
you
my
think this one's the
favorite's-
worst?
My favorite's 2009.
Oh, wow.
My favorite's 2009. And I'm okay if you swap 2009, 2003, but I definitely would have 2017 then 2026. I think 2026 I'm the most comfortable with by saying it's fourth.
Oh, okay.
Wow. Yeah, I would. I disagree with that. 26 comfortably being fourth when that 09 team has Dwight Howard. Is Dwight Howard better than Wemby? I don't know. No, it's not. Is Chris Paul as good as Shea or Luca? That's not too far off, actually. D Wade in 09 is phenomenal. 09 LeBron is the best player of the bunch. And then of course, I mean Kobe is Kobe. You feel me? There's no, but it's kind of, again, for me, 09, Dwight Howard is tanking that team, in my opinion. 26 Shea better than 09 Kobe. Yeah. Please wake up and smell the fucking roses, pal.
So we're on different ends of the spectrum.
Okay. Well, where are you at with it, Mars?
03 is first. I'm not hesitant with that. 03 is the best. Then I have. It's weird because Bron, Steph, and KD. Like, if it was top threes versus top threes, I could argue Bron, Steph, and KD is probably like seconds, like other than like Kobe, Duncan, and Shaq. But no disrespect, I think Harden and Kawhi kind of bring down the group. Same thing with CP3 and Dwight, in my opinion. So I'm gonna go 03 first, 25 Nah, Wemby's laying down the group a little bit. 03 first, then 17, then 25, then 09.
All right, Swiper, talk to me.
Can I swap 24 Embiid for Wemby?
That's why I think. But apparently, I was crazy for saying that the 24 top 5 is better than this current one. But
I thought we were doing 26 top 5.
24 top 5. That was Embiid, Luka, Giannis, Shea, Jokic. That one's better than the 26 one, honestly. If we did the 24 top 5, 24 would then be number 2, pushing for 1. Because that is Luka's best year. That's Embiid's best year. Jokic was still playing phenomenal basketball. That's Shea's, but that's 23, 24 Shea, not 24, 25 Shea. So fairs, but 23, 24 Giannis is still historic. That was 30 on 65 true shooting. Shout out that man. Yeah, it's second, pushing first. And I wouldn't even really argue with you too much if you had it number 1, to be honest with you. If you have 24 number 1, I'm not pushing back too much. That's a tough 5. That's a tough 5.
yeah, but 20. Yeah, this top 25.
This is easy. 3, 25, 9, and then 17. Or sorry, 17 then 9. 17.
So you got 25 number 2.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And almost
I
number
think
1.
that's fair. Yeah.
Almost
Ooh.
number 1.
Okay.
I got 25 number 1. Obviously.
Oh my God. Obviously. In the middle. Oh my goodness. You know what? Let me just speed through these lists so we can get to. They were having another discussion.
I got 09 last. Actually, no. Swap it. I got. Okay. Let me make it clear.
Tell us what's in order, Pin.
2025
So,
number 1. 2003 number 2. 2017 number 3. No. 2025, 2017, 2003, then 2009. There we go.
This was actually a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. I mean, there's no doubt. Easy number 1. 03 is obviously number 1, no doubt about that. So I got 03, and then I think I'm gonna go 17, 09, 26. So
03, 17, 09, 26.
I just think when you do the head-to-head with the 03 stuff, it's a little bit weird because it feels like that should be an easy one because those 5 players are so great. Nowitzki's an all-time great. Duncan's an all-time great. Max an all-time great. It's just it's not the best Garnett season.
Yeah, it's
not the best
context.
because the next one was
best
better,
Garnett season.
right? It is probably the best T-Max season. I'll give you that. It's not the best Duncan season. It's 3 years removed from Shaq's prime, and it's
03's not the best Duncan season.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
that's just
'03, in my opinion, is Duncan's best season. So there's that.
So
How
you're right.
good Tim
Contextually, the
Duncan was.
season.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not.
Wasn't
I'm not
Shaq
gonna
prime,
argue.
prime,
I
prime?
think it is, but I'm not gonna
Yeah.
argue.
Well, Mars, you
Like,
could pick 5. You could pick 5 Duncan
yeah, like
seasons.
you could
could
say
pick
09
5
isn't
KG
Bron's best
seasons.
season, but I could definitely make an argument it is. Like, so I mean,
Super
yeah,
Chat is
Duncan's got a
100%
bunch of seasons.
Facts, by the way.
KG's best season is for sure 04. There's no hesitation on that. But 03 is definitely his second best season. I don't hesitate saying that either. So I mean,
Does T Mac wait? Just for
The splash
clarification,
of the
Mark,
day is going to hit.
the reason why I was
different.
so close was T Mac. Is he close to this version of Luca? Was he better than this version of Luca?
I don't think so.
Ooh, boy, I'm gonna piss him off when I say this. If Luka ain't getting to the Baja no more, '03 T-Mac better. Hey, y'all can be mad at me down there below in the hey, y'all can be mad at me down there below in the comments. But I'm not even just gonna say Luka. I'm very high on '03 Tracy McGrady. I don't know about y'all. That was a phenomenal two guard. 6'8", 6'9", got a handle, can get downhill, pull up shooting, athletic, finish above the rim, great transition player, could pass and play make. I also think '03 T-Mac not that far from Shea either. If I'm keeping it a buck with you, if I'm keeping it a buck with you, I don't think Shea right now is better than '03 T-Mac. I'm sorry, I don't. Let's continue. I don't know if that's a hot take. Let's continue.
No, I think this version of Shea and Luca are better than that version of Tracy McGrady. I think the competition you face has to matter. The East in 2003 was just super watered down, bro. Like you're not gonna tell me you better than Shea and Luca, and you can't get out of the first round in your entire prime. Like I understand there's
What does that have to do? I thought this was regular season or something. I didn't know it was. And if he had the greatest defense ever supporting him, he would have got out the first round too. If T Mac could go out there and get boxed by Scottie Pippen Jr. for a whole round and still sweep the other team, he would have got out the first round too. If he then proceeded to go to the next round and have several games getting boxed by Christian Brown, but again, still having the greatest defense to support him, he would have got out the second round as well. If he then proceeded to play the Timberwolves, where now Chet and J-Dub are better offensive players, and they still have the greatest defense ever, he would have got out the conference finals as well. And then if he went to the finals and got boxed up several times by Andrew Nembhard, but still had the greatest defense ever behind him, and the other team's best player tear his Achilles in Game 7 at home, maybe he could have won a championship too. I don't know. You tell me. That T-Mac in the first round or in the playoffs, it's a bit overdone. He definitely has his bad games. Don't get me wrong, but he still has some very fantastic games in the. He has some great games in the playoffs. He blew a 3-1 lead that year. Yeah, against Detroit. I mean, Ferris. And it's y'all's favorite coach that coached who not only managed to blow a 3-1 lead with Tracy McGrady, he's blown one with Kawhi Leonard and Paul George as well. Let's continue.
Talking about
limitations.
the regular season, so
Yeah, I mean, I understand there's limitations, but regular season success, I mean, we just saw Paul Reed do 28 points, bro. Like, I'm just saying, like, every team got to have a 20-point per game scorer. Tracy McGrady was amazing. That was probably, like, the last year that he was a great defender, if that's fair to say. Like, he wasn't a great defender, like, for the most part of his prime, but that season, he had such an insane offensive responsibility. It's just hard to say, like, where do I fall on 09 Chris Paul, given how much he had to do, right? Do I think 09 Chris Paul is better than 03 Tracy McGrady? Do I think it's even close? Like, there's conversations to be had between those two players. I don't know.
I think I might need to rethink this because I only looked at it at 2 a.m. when I woke up. But I think the season contextual stuff is real pen, I think, which makes this really difficult.
Yeah, it
Because you're
matters.
right. It was after the 3P with
I mean-
Shaq. It was before the. Yeah, go on. Sorry, Swipe. Okay.
Like, here's the thing, man.
Well, no, I'm
I
with you
grew
on
up.
that. And
I
then
grew
the
up in the '90s, man. Like, I grew up in the '90s and the 2000s,
I don't know,
and the
because
indeed,
fucking-
you know, like Tim Duncan was my first jersey. You know, I grew up thinking Tim Duncan was the best big man that I'd seen, and then of course, you know, my father showed me like a lot of Arvydas Sabonis.
Let me pause here because I just need a break from the monologue. And let me give y'all a short one because I don't want things to be misconstrued because somebody who just watched that Shay rant may think that was very nasty of me, right? But here's my overarching point through the little troll that I just did, right? Obviously, I'm giving Shay a hard time. When we talk about these top of the top elite basketball players, and then we're also pointing out their best seasons, please don't go under my comments like thinking that '03 Trace McGrady is truly not on Shay's level, because I promise you he is. But I will also say, and y'all see who I have in my background, that player is also on his level as well. These are top of the top like the thing about all-time greats isn't just the highs they hit, because there are other players that hit similar highs. It's about it sustaining, being consistent with that, right? '03 Tracy McGrady is on Kobe's level. It's just that there aren't too many more seasons where that's the case. That's what keeps him out of those conversations. Not necessarily that he was never that good. It was he wasn't that good for the stretch where Kobe was that good. Or even Dwayne Wade, who he has a shorter prime due to injury, but was that good. As an individual player, talking about somebody who's 6'9", can handle the ball, pass, play out a pick and roll, which damn near all the league is today, shooting like 37, 38% on pull-up threes, on decent volume as well. But like '03 McGrady would come into this league and terrorize this shit. It would be, he would be ridiculous in this era of basketball. So no, I'm not disrespecting. He would be Jason Tatum, '03 McGrady. I'm so sure. I'm not disrespecting Shay when I say '03 McGrady's just that good, because again, I'm saying '03 McGrady is this good. But again, it's about we're on year what of Shay being this level of player, right? We got 22, 23, 23, 24, 24, 25. You've been to 25, 26, right? He's going to keep putting these seasons together. That's the gap. Not that at their best, it's like, oh my God, he's way better than Tracy. Like that's not how that works. I just want that to be abundant. Let's continue.
Stuff growing up, and then I was a huge fan of Rasheed Wallace, like Dirk Nowitzki, Kobe Bryant, like Vince Carter. But I think sometimes we have to examine what we saw and then recontextualize it and say, what if I saw it after what I'm seeing today? Because everything builds on everything you know. So like when you see Jokic play basketball, it's after you saw Ewing play basketball, Dikembe play basketball, Shaq play basketball, Wilt, Hakeem, all Hakeem play basketball. So it's like, how do you even compete with that? He's doing stuff that they were doing. Every player you've seen mimic a dream shake brings you back to the first time you saw Hakeem do the dream shake. So it's just like, it doesn't have the same effect. But what if we, brought in an alien and showed them all of these games simultaneously and just said, okay, now judge who's really the best, right?
But Penn, they're not aliens, they're humans. And the thing about it is, I can show you how to do something. That doesn't mean you could do it better than me.
Yeah, but sometimes it does.
Also, it doesn't mean because
who's been able to do the dream shake better than the dream?
I think
That's
Wemby pump fakes,
respectfully
just
bad,
like
no
bad
one's-
example, but
no one's ever done the skyhook like Kareem. I get it. I think that I probably need to give more
Robin Lopez.
consideration. Yeah, but I think I need to give the game's at such a good place, and that matters as well when in terms of the talent, like the guy, like Swiper, to your point, the guys that the level they're playing at right now. Have we ever seen it? Like that, I think as a baseline, like have we ever seen it? So does that make this the best?
We literally have, and I think that's what I'm slipping up on Ron, because I do think it, because '03 is Kobe, Shaq, Duncan, but Mac and Garnett, like I'm cool, bro. Like I mean, and the thing maybe
Don't
I'm
do that right now.
No,
I
but
feel
listen.
like KG's level is being very
No,
unfair.
I'm not.
Because you're not about to convince me, no disrespect
No,
to
no.
Shaq, that '03 Shaq is better than Kevin Garnett in '03.
No.
Like,
I
Shaq
think
should be the one question.
I think when we're getting
not
into the
Garnett.
I know KG's one of Mars' faves. I do know that. Shout out to my co-host, man. He is definitely KGFC for sure. 03 Shaq from like 1996 to 2003. I mean, that's just basically the most dominant modern day player we've ever seen. So, look, if you have a season where you want to say somebody's better, fairs. Obviously, 90s, 97, 98, you have Jordan. But then once you get to like 99, 99 to 03, it gets tough. Gets tough.
Combo. I think the thing that I'm trying to base is in DMV, Swipe has a vested interest in Air being the best. I can't take it seriously. Y'all, a lot of y'all numbnuts, bro. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Like, y'all just ride. Like, you're riding
can't
in the
feel y'all
chat
nuts.
now. But the issue is, like, yeah, and you know what? You know what's dumb, Ron? And I mean this genuinely. People are so held
First off, that was very offensive. And what is a numbnut?
on to these nonsensical stereotypes about players. You do have to consider what Jokic is doing right now, because that's what they're pushing back. They're saying that I'm being biased to this era because of what Jokic is doing. And I think, Mars, correctly, we're looking at what Jokic is doing and saying, well, who else ever has done this?
Well,
And I
you
think
had
that's a part of the
26
combo.
number 2, right? You had them
That
second.
matters.
That's
I
what I'm
agree. with
saying.
that.
And
Because I had them third, I think. Because
Here's my problem, and we're getting more to the conversation that I heard that made me want to do this video. Here's the problem that I have with the new era talk, right? Starting to see the old heads' point of view more and more when it comes to this aspect. So what we do with the new era players is we say, look at their production, look at the statistics, look at the true shooting and the relative true shooting and the offensive ratings, and look at the volume of statistics that they're putting together, while also acknowledging we're in the best offensive environment in the sports history. Is it so much that the individual player is so much better, or is it now this top tier talent of players are playing in the most offensive friendly environment, right? There's more spacing than ever. Role players, right, are more skilled than ever. That's what they say all the time, right? That works in so many ways. You can't argue that the game is more talented than it's ever been. Players are more skilled than they've ever been, and then not factor that in when you start talking about efficiency. The pace this year is also ridiculous. So volume now is increasing. What Jokic and Giannis are doing, and Luka and Shea, it's phenomenal, right? But we also have players to the level of, like, and no disrespect, I have been singing his praises, but like a player to the level of Austin Reeves right now is averaging 30. Stuff like that does kind of make you sit back and question, like, okay, great players are doing phenomenal things. But if somebody like Austin Reeves, and again, great player, I'm not but he's averaging 30 on like 60 something true shooting. So it's like, yeah, you want to point to, oh, we've never seen this kind of production and efficiency, but that's what the game has been tailored to become now for years and years and years. It's becoming a more efficient sport. It's becoming a faster sport. So to me, that works both ways. And so now, if you're somebody who was old enough to watch '03 McGrady, 2003 Kobe Bryant, and you say, okay, let's take that player and put him in this environment, I don't think you're nuts if you think they could push out the production of Shea. I don't think that's a crazy thought. I really don't. Again, I'm not trying to disrespect the newer era, but I'm saying our only argument can't be like statistics and efficiency when we're in the most efficient era of basketball. And as we continue to do this, let me say this, it's going to be harder and harder to deny that older players could come in and do some of what these younger players are doing, when we've also seen these players have the skill set, right? So it's not as much of a mental leap to make. So for example, when people try to say like, oh, Jerry West or Bob Cousy will come into today's league and do what name your player or guard is doing, they couldn't dribble with their left hand. respectfully. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's such a mental leap to take. Your imagination has to work on overdrive, right? But I've seen Tracy McGrady and Kobe Bryant break people down in isolation repeatedly. In 2003, I've seen it. I watched. You're telling me if I put 2000 to 2003 Shaq in the league with these bigs, do y'all not remember how dominant of a player Shaq was? The implementation of zone, credit that to Shaq and Kobe. There are so many former players that say, hey, the NBA, if you were just 6'11 to 7'2 or whatever and just was a big body, you was getting a job. People are hiring and shifting the construction of their rosters just to have enough fouls for Shaq. And so you're telling me if I put 2000 Shaq in a league that has Bam Adebayo running the 5 or Jared Allen, like, what would he be doing? So yeah, like, I'm not trying to discredit the players, but at a certain point, you can't just say, oh, efficiency, volume and efficiency. Playing faster than damn near ever right now in the most efficient offensive environment ever. So just wanted to say that.
I had 03 first, but I can flip 17 and 26. Like that's up in the air for me. So
Sure,
like 2 and 3 is like interchangeable. 9 is lost.
Durant, LeBron, and Steph have a lot of say in 17. Kawhi too.
Exactly. Yeah,
Durant, LeBron.
I think Kawhi's getting a little underrated as well.
Hell
For
yeah.
the level he was
But then
at.
we have to. But then
They
I'm
were
saying,
all
Ron,
great, but we knew the top 3 was Bron, Steph, and KD. Like that.
Yeah,
was,
but then go back to now.
That's
Ron,
like
I'm
3
saying,
top 15 players ever all
Luka
in
at
that
worst
time.
is the 4th best player in the world, dude. And he gave you not super efficient, and he's doing all whatever. He was giving you going into yesterday like 37, 9, and 9 to start the season off. I mean, at some point, he is just a freak of nature, and if he didn't exist in a league of demigods, would be the best player in the world in almost every era he's been in. At least in the conversation.
Please.
I think the problem is Luka is literally.
When would he? When would Luka be the best in the world? He's not right now. In the 2010s, he wouldn't have been better than LeBron. In the 2000s, you talking about one singular year? I mean, but even by 2015, we were giving LeBron like the benefit of the doubt of, yeah, he doesn't have to be the best player in the regular season anymore. Like, we know who LeBron is. So in the 2010s, he wouldn't have been better than LeBron. Some people would have been saying he's not better than Steph Curry. Some people would have been saying he's not better than KD. In the 2000s, he wouldn't have been better than late 2000s LeBron. He's not better than 06 to 08 Kobe. He's not better than like 03 to 05 Duncan and or KG. And then he's not better than 2000 or 2003 Shaq. You go back to the 90s, obviously, Jordan. You may have to go back, yeah, maybe to the 80s. He better than Magic. Yeah. Hey, look, he better than Magic. Now, is he better than Bird? To me, but so 80s. We had to go back, 4 or 5 decades to find when he would have just been the best. That's not as simple as you think.
In a league where you got a guard that's possibly peaking as high as Steph or MJ for some people, not me, but some people. You have, I think, a big Ron. You got a big averaging 32 and a half, 12 and 7. And it's like going haywire. Like,
it's so funny when people, because this same bald-headed capped man would look you dead in your face about Luka and say, oh, PRA merchant. And then several arguments I hear him make surrounding PRA. It's amazing. It's truly amazing. Let's continue.
bad games for him are 38, 7, and 6, like he did the other day versus the Bulls. That's a lower tier game for Giannis. And then you got a center averaging 29, 13, and 12 on 77 true shooting. Like I'm saying, Ron, like I don't know how to contextualize that other than saying this could be the most talented top 5 we've ever had. But I think Duncan and Shaq and Kobe deserve praise for what they did in 2003. But I don't know if they're actually better basketball players than what we're seeing right now, because they can't play in this era. Like they're not playing now. Like, would they be better? Would they be even more skilled, Ron, if they're playing in 2026? I'm saying, but they're not as skilled. I'm saying, Ron, they're objectively not as skilled, though.
But it's that basketball's not always about skill.
I agree.
And so now it's like they're not as skilled? Now and see, this is what Kobe Bryant isn't as skilled. McGrady, Shaq doesn't need to be skilled. He's Shaq. Like, that's what I'm saying. And the further we get into, again, when you look at players from the 50s, 60s, 70s, even into the 80s and the 90s, that skill should work most of the time. Of course, a few exceptions throughout those decades. Please will be under my comments. What do you mean? Bob Cousy used to throw left-handed chest passes. I'm saying, cool, gotcha. For the most part, overarching theme, you can make a skills argument then. 2000s forward, it's like, you're telling me what, 09 Chris Paul isn't as skilled? Like, come on, bro. Nah, that can't get off. That's not getting off. I'm sorry.
Shaq, when you look at Shaq, his
skill, we talking about skill. Have you seen Tim Duncan on the box? Mr. Fundamental. Ain't skilled, though. That's okay.
pure dominance, he is going to throttle this era. Kevin Garnett's two-way versatility is going to
Shaq would have
seamlessly
challenges in
fit
this
into this
era
era.
too.
But that's what I'm saying.
But I think if you want to look
Shaq would have
strictly at
real
03,
challenges in
I
this
would
area,
argue if
in
you
this
want to
era.
look strictly at the 03 season and imagine
This is unbelievable that it's like, yes, Shaq would have some defensive challenges in this era for sure. He would in my opinion, to be quite honest with you, he would be by far right now the most impactful offensive player because he would literally be unstoppable. You put Shaq on the court with four other shooters, and now he's going one-on-one with, I don't know who, Walker Kessler, Alfred Sengun. Are you crazy? Like, who's the center over? Yeah, DeAndre Ayton. Shaq is going one-on-one with DeAndre Ayton. Who's the five over there in Golden State right now? Draymond? Quinn Post? Like, what are we saying, bro? I promise you that value alone is going to trump the fact that Shaq has to play a deep drop in pick and roll. I'm sorry. It just is. It's like, it is. No, come on, bro. You're going to have to collapse your entire defense to try to contain Shaq. And if the right system makes kick out passes easy, bro, like, stop with this. But Shaq can't go to the perimeter. Like, yeah, we know. Neither can Jokic. But guess what? So impactful offensively, it doesn't even matter to a certain extent. Doesn't matter. Let's try to find a way to keep him, close to the rim. And that's not even matter of fact. Now that I think about it, that guarding on the perimeter argument is starting to not be relevant more and more because more and more teams are starting to run zone. That's what Denver does now. Hey, we're just going to find a way to try to keep Nikola Jokic as close to the basket as possible. So, yeah, man, Shaq would absolutely be destroying this league. Destroying. He would be manhandling these fives right now. Stop.
all of these guys are rookies in these individual seasons. So
Yeah.
Shaq has no years prior. Shaq has no years after this. 03 is the only year Shaq plays in the NBA.
Yeah.
Same as KG, T-Mac, all of them. I think you can make a very competent argument that of the 5 and 03, Shaq is the worst player of the 5.
Agree.
Just based solely on that season.
Agree.
So
Agree.
Duncan
that's-
could be the best.
that says a
Might
lot.
be
Yeah,
the
you
best,
can make the
Duncan.
argument that Duncan is the best.
Yeah.
I think you can make an argument that T-Mac was the best, especially in that regular season. You can make an argument that KG was the best. You can make an argument that Kobe was the best. You can make the argument that Shaq was the best, but I think you'd have to look more into the past and say he was saving himself in the regular season and all that stuff. But like, if you look at everyone here as just rookies,
Rookies.
so you have no
No prior
reputation
knowledge.
bias.
No prior
I think
knowledge.
that's what helps the 26 season. Because 2017, Steph and KD were on the same team.
Mhm.
So you didn't see the same level of oh my God, it wasn't 2016 Steph video game stuff because he was trying to fit next to KD and he started the season kind of slow. But KD and Steph both went ballistic in the playoffs that year. We haven't seen these five play in the playoffs yet. We haven't seen what a playoff defense does to Wemby. We haven't even seen that. So everything is going to be conjecture and projection. But who knows? Maybe Wemby gets to the playoffs and his offense falls off a cliff. Maybe it does, but maybe it doesn't.
This is also true. We're 13 games into the season, ladies and gentlemen. Let's also get that on record. We're about every team's now played about 11 to 13 games right now. Let's wait and see. You know,
like all of that we don't actually have an answer for what these guys right now would look like in the playoffs this season. So it's going to be more projection as opposed to what we have from 03. We know T-Mac blew a 3-1 lead in 2003. So we can use that and be like, oh, well, T-Mac's not as good as X guy. But what happens? I'm not saying it will. What happens if OKC go into the playoffs in round one as the favorites and OKC blow a 3-1 lead? Then all of a sudden these Shea conversations are going to be like, you said Shea was better than 09 Bron. Like, I'm not saying anyone said that, but like, we don't have the answers the way we do for all of these other guys. So I think that lends itself to helping the 26 players in some regard. But the
great point, co-host. Great point.
Overall careers help.
Look,
players. Like, we see what Bron became. We see what Kobe became. So that helps them just.
I think
03, but it's
in sports it flips. In the NFL, it's different. In the NFL, they more favor now because clearly Roger Staubach is not playing better than Patrick Mahomes. Like, it's clear to see. Like, we can see this. He's clearly not better than this dude. He's a freak of nature. We've never seen a quarterback like this. Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. We lean towards new. In basketball, it's the opposite. We see what we see, but like, there's no way that Kobe in 2005 can't do what Shea is doing, or Shaq in 2002 can't do what Jokic is doing.
Yeah, because number one, again, it's not that far off, real deal, and also it's not that long ago, and we've seen their skill set. And one thing he actually mentioned is one-of-one freak. Who's more of a freak than Shaquille O'Neal? And what era do you put Shaq in to where he's not the most dominant human on the court at all times? There's no era. Maybe fairy tale land will. We haven't had an era of basketball yet to where if peak and prime Shaquille O'Neal step foot on the court, he's not the one-of-one of one-on-one, or at least most dominant, because now we do have Wemby in the league. But you get what I'm saying. Shaq is a dominant physical force in any era of basketball. Old, new, don't matter. Michael Jordan is 6'6" and has a 44-inch vertical and one of the best first steps we've ever seen. In any era, that works. These players that are one-on-one, that works everywhere. Let's continue.
I think that's the problem. It's like, I'm genuinely wondering with myself, am I being too harsh on this era? Because I'm saying that I understand that like these are historically great players in Duncan, Kobe, Shaq, T-Mac, but those are names. If we just strip everybody of their names and say, are they playing better than Jokic, SGA, Luka, Wemby, and Giannis? Are they better basketball players than them? And I'm telling you, Ron, if you strip the name, if I put Giannis and Tim Duncan up, I think it's a conversation. I think it's a legitimate conversation. I think Giannis could possibly win that. I think he's playing that well. But what does that say then, though?
I'm with you, Swiper. I'm with you. 100. I think the names are making it. I think the names are making it really.
One day this off season, we're gonna make that Tim Duncan video. You just wait, and by that time, we're gonna have by this off season, we're gonna have graphics and different backdrops and highlights playing throughout the video. I promise you. Just stick around. Keep hitting that sub button. We're going to make that Tim Duncan video. Let's continue.
Tough because some of these guys are top 10 players ever, yeah. But then when you break it down season by season, I'm right there with you. I think it's hard. It's really hard to even wrap your head around what level the guys are playing at right now because it's never happened.
You have a 6'11" Ron. You love Giannis. You have a 6'11" Titan running the ball up and down the court with the basketball, and he is at will getting to the rim and ending possessions, plus giving you good scoring, not hitting mid-range shot this year. He's averaging 12 rebounds and 7 assists a game. If somebody told you in 2002 that 23 years later that you would have a player that big, that athletic, with those kind of numbers doing all of the different things he does, Tim Duncan never in his life could have done all the things that he's doing offensively.
You know, ironically enough, I actually think that Giannis would have a harder time in like the era in which Tim Duncan played, like the late 90s, 2000s era, because number one, that's the slowest brand of basketball in the league's history, the dead ball era. in that era now has two legitimate bigs on the court at all times. Basically, that's what their game was. Right? Power forward is 6'11", 6'10", with less shooting on the court. So the paint is kind of packed. But Giannis, again, in this increased and better offensive environment, now the fact that he can't make an outside jump shot for real doesn't really matter as much as it would in 2005. 04, if he's playing the 04 Pistons, and let's say Tayshaun Prince is his POA, right? Maybe you say he's skinny, cool. But Rashid and Ben Wallace are at the rim waiting on him on every possession. Probably wouldn't be Giannis probably wouldn't be shooting 85% at the rim then. Probably wouldn't be doing that anymore. So again, all of this stuff, like, it goes hand in hand. Stop just bringing up efficiency when we're playing the most efficient brand of basketball. This is why I'm more so of a skill set person than anything. Yes, I like to get into numbers sometimes and all of that, but skill set for me is important because then you're able to translate your dominance through basically any era of basketball. Skill set and then your physical imposition, right? Are you a freak athlete? Because a lot of the top echelon players are, right? I don't have to look at Shaq's skill set. He's Shaq. LeBron James is 6'9", 260, jumps higher than everybody, runs faster than everybody, and has elite vision. That alone gets him to at least Magic heights. Michael Jordan, again, is 6'6", damn near the greatest first step ever. Can jump 45 inches in the air, and he's strong, and he has a plus wingspan. Like, some of these people are just freak human beings. That could go for Giannis as well, by the way. So I'm not saying Giannis wouldn't be successful, but he wouldn't be 80-something% at the rim. You know why? Because Shaq wasn't even 80-something% at the rim during that time. That's how I know. What would Shaq be at the rim today? Come on, man.
He just doesn't have the skill.
But Giannis don't do nothing that Tim Duncan was doing, though. Like, you can do both ways.
Duncan's a better defender. I agree.
No, and then you can go Tim Duncan, but you're saying these things about this is who Giannis is. Can you believe what he's doing? Let's talk about 03 Kevin Garnett. Let's talk about what he was doing. And so I get what you're saying, where it's like, we got names, but these names are these names for a reason. Giannis isn't doing anything on the block or in the mid range like Tim Duncan was doing.
That's very true. Yeah, that also works. This is a great point by Ox, actually. Yeah, Swiper just named off things. Tim Duncan isn't grabbing it off the glass, and true. Giannis ain't Tim Duncan on the block. Giannis don't have the mid-range game of Tim Duncan, and Tim Duncan can pass out the post, and Tim Duncan's the better defender. Like, there are things that Tim Duncan does that Giannis doesn't do. That works both ways. But hey, let's point to efficiency and the most efficient brand of basketball. That means you're better. What?
Well, he's not a.
Well,
last year
what's that face? What's that face? What's that
Last year
face?
he did a lot on the mid range.
Not like Tim Duncan.
Come on, stop it. Stop.
Not like Tim Duncan at all.
But this idea,
No,
hold on. You
not at all.
Okay, this is what y'all do. Like, and it bothers me.
Yes, this is what we do. We talk ball. Yes, this is what we do.
You
Yes,
think so.
you're right.
You use an archetype of a previous player and then hold this player up to that archetype and say, well, he doesn't do.
No,
X,
I'm not.
Y, Z.
That's what Swiper did. That's why he did it in. No. That's what Swiper did. And so when he flipped it, now you want to know.
That's what Swiper just did.
That's what
the
Swiper just
opposite.
did.
Boom, exactly. Boy, I'm good at this thing, ain't it? It seemed like I'm on the show for a reason. That's what Swiper just did. You didn't have a problem when he was doing it for Giannis. Now it's a problem when he's doing it for Tim Duncan. But I tell you.
Let me talk and
48
just chew your food.
Just did that in reverse.
So no, but what I'm saying is you
See,
can't,
I can chew and think at the same time. See?
Oh, multitask, nice. Versatile.
you can't remove.
Giannis shooting
to be fair,
16% on mid-range,
hold
by the
on.
way, this year, so.
The debate really comes down to you cannot
16%.
be so unkind and so unfair to the previous generation, like Michael, Magic, Larry, even going back that far, but also up to Kobe, Duncan, etc., and just say they had the same set of circumstances that today's athletes do. We are seeing fouls called, like right now, we are seeing fouls called at the most ridiculous rate in NBA history to start this season. Like, it is truly insane how many fouls are being committed, how many guys are going to the line, the pace of the game. You add all of that together, you're going to get a lot of inflated numbers that you've probably never seen before. And what that's going to be is you're going to have like 3-4 players averaging 30 points per game. And that's going to seem like, wow, that's amazing. Well, Tim Duncan did not play in that era, or Kobe didn't play in that era, and then consider the spacing. You're isolating
the same amount of fouls per
individual
game in 03 as there is today.
shooting fouls, free throws, etc. But you didn't have the kind of pace that you have
okay.
today. You didn't have the pace that you have today. So I guess what I'm saying
Which
is
means there was more fouls.
there's
on the
more
possession
scoring
basically.
possessions. But there's more scoring possessions in today's game. There's more threes. You know, the effective field goal percentage argument is that more threes is 1.5 times more valuable than twos. There's a lot of 3-point shooters back in the day, like Ray Allen, etc. If you play in a different era, they have totally different scoring outputs. Mega. If you put Shaq in the same situation, let's just say you put Shaquille O'Neal with all the things that we saw him doing in 2000, and you put him with Jamal Murray, Cam Johnson, you put him with Jokic's, crew right now, what does that look like? I don't think he's any less stoppable. I think he's even more unstoppable in the block than Jokic. I think
Penn is making some fantastic points right now. I don't know why he said MAGA, but outside of that, he's making some fantastic points right now. All things I've outlined earlier in the video. It's like, again, you can't keep pointing to efficiency and volume when we're playing way faster than the 2000s with more spacing. Like, yeah, duh. No, we've never seen that output like that. That'd just mean they're better, though. So great points being made here by Penn. I'm not always negative Nancy.
he's a very gifted passer, but we weren't at a place in 2000 where teams were just handing the ball to the center and say, okay, be our point guard. Maybe we hadn't gone far enough. Tim Duncan was an exceptional passer. Kevin Garnett was an exceptional passer. Dirk Nowitzki was an exceptional scorer. Did we go far enough? I think this is a question that Mike D'Antoni and Steve Nash asked themselves all the time when they were trying to revolutionize offense in Phoenix, which is we didn't go far enough with what we were doing. And it takes all those failures to come to where you are today with the league. It takes the trial and error. It takes the experimentation of the triangle offense, which leads into the Spurs' beautiful game offense. Until now, you have the Boston Celtics taking 1,000,000 threes a game, right? How is that helping? The space equation, the rule changes, the competition level, the lack of hand checking, all of this stuff. If I want to make an argument today that if I drop 88 Jordan into today's NBA and he's still the best player in the world, I think I can make that argument very solidly. But making that argument for every player that you grew up watching, like Nowitzki's just better than Jokic, that's nostalgia, and that's stupid to me. You have to isolate individual skills. You have to say with provable fact, this guy would be better with this context. And then, you have.
Penn, I'm agreeing with everything he's saying right now because I agree. I think he just outlined again. I said I'm somebody about skills, so you have to do it on a player-to-player basis. But it's so interesting to me that he's like breaking all of that down, but he's also somebody that is just assured that Shea is peaking at a better than Kobe Bryant ever was. But what if you put peak Kobe Bryant and that's why he understands this, but then some of the takes he has doesn't align with it doesn't align with each other. But I'm agreeing with everything he's saying right now. And yes, for the record, Dirk Nowitzki would not be better than Jokic. Yeah, no, he's not. He wouldn't be. So there that is.
To build the argument, but you're never going to be able to prove it because I can never see Dirk Nowitzki in 2025 ever.
Like how do these bigs that thrive off of being the point guard, like you said, giving it to them being the point guard with no spacing, compact, basic offenses? How do they become these uber efficient facilitators?
I don't think they would be as efficient. I don't think Jokic would be as efficient as a playmaker in more congested space. That's just logical. If you're
right, so I'm saying I think it goes both ways. Penn, I think it just goes both ways. Is what I'm saying. So I wasn't trying. I wasn't trying to put these guys like in that space and say they couldn't do that. I'm just saying we're not seeing the same game. So I can't knock Tim Duncan for being great at what he did, but not being a transition beast like Giannis is. When I don't feel like Giannis was the same style of player as Tim Duncan, I think both of them could be great. I think Tim Duncan will be great today. I think Kevin Garnett will be great today. But I also think Giannis will be great in 2003. I don't think it has to go one way. Is my point.
Right.
And that's a good point to leave off for this video, because I agree basically with everything Penn just outlined And then I for sure agree with everything Ox there just outlined, right? Again, these players today, the upper echelon, they are phenomenal. But I'm sorry, you can't just volume and efficiency me to death. And that's why they're better while they're playing in the most friendly offensive environment compared to yesteryear, right? Talk about their skill set. Talk about what they do as an individual player. Don't just give me statistics and true shooting and even relative true shooting. And this is the last point I want to make too, because relative true shooting and relative stats get used as a way, or it's seen like it's balancing the playing field, because, well, I'm judging you on how efficient you were relative to your era, right? So if somebody is +8 now, but you were just +4 in your era, that means they're more efficient. But relative to era still doesn't take into account that a specific player's skill set, and it also doesn't project how they would still play in the more efficient environment, right? I can be a player just because I'm only +3 relative true shooting in my environment doesn't mean I couldn't be +7 in yours, right? Like those two things don't they don't correlate straight through like that. It's not linear that if I'm +6 in my environment, I would only be +6 in your environment. It's not linear like that, right? Some people would probably get more efficient. Some could even get less efficient, depending on the player. So, in conclusion, talk about these players and their skill set. Talk about what they do as an individual, and don't just lead with, "Oh, we haven't seen this statistic production before," when we're in the stat happiest era of all time. Let me know what y'all think down below there in the comments. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. And make sure you click that description. Follow me on all those links you see down below. Follow me on TikTok. Follow me on Twitter. And make sure that you click the link to that playback where we are streaming games every single night. And until next time, it's been real.